Hello and welcome to Attention Central Texas. I am Pat Galanfi, your host for today. And I have with me an old friend, actually. Her name is Jeannie Berglund, and she is with New Life Fellowship Church over in Belton, Texas.
That's correct.
Welcome, Jeannie. It's so good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Pat.
And there's a whole lot of stuff going on at New Life. Tell us a little bit about New Life, where y'all are.
Okay, New Life is in Belton, Texas. It's behind the old, well, I guess they still use it, the football field.
Okay.
In Belton off of 6th. And Golden Chick or something like that.
Everybody knows where that is in Belton.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's behind there, and got a great pastor, Pastor Roger Petty, and his wife, Pastor Joy.
Okay.
And I'm a deaconess there. My husband's a deacon there, and I teach Sunday school, and I sing on the praise and worship team, and active.
And you're very active.
Very active.
Very active.
Yeah, so we have a food pantry, but wanted to do something with the community. And as you know, I'm a published author, and the world is kind of against Christian authors. Of course, they're against Christians. And I just wanted to do something. I put it to the pastor. I said, I'd like to do a Christian book fair. And he's like, all right, let's do this. So here we are.
So the church is sponsoring this book fair?
Yes.
And it's going to be at the church building?
Yes, it's going to be in the fellowship hall.
Okay.
Behind the church.
All right.
Because they got a pretty good size fellowship hall. And
Good.
we're going to have about 6 or 7 authors and their books. And we're going to have someone there named Vicki. Sorry, Vicki, don't remember her last name.
It's okay.
But she's going to be there. I think it's Stevenson, but anyway, she's got lots of information on how people can get started.
Oh, good.
And how to publish a book and all kinds of neat little nuggets there.
So there will be authors there with their own books. But
Yes.
then in addition to that, if we have aspiring authors out there that need more information,
Yes,
she'll be there and available to answer questions. And,
Yes.
And she'll probably have information they can stay in contact with her.
Yes.
So is that kind of how way you got started, by lining up with somebody else, or did God just throw you into it and say, here you go?
He kind of pushed me.
Gently.
Gently pushed me.
Yeah.
I had to be pushed. As a matter of fact, how I got started was God gave me this story, and I was like, okay. And God says, I want you to publish it. I'm like, okay. Eventually.
And how do I do that?
Yeah, eventually I'll publish. But anyways, he's like, I want you to publish it. I was at church, and the pastor was preaching on the talents, the 5, the 2, and the 1. And I was like, oh, that's a nice, parable. Yeah, I like that. But I was on my way home from church, and I was like thinking about the message. I'm like, well, God, I think I'm a one-talent person. That's what I told God. I don't think I have that many talents. I'm a one-talent person. And he got me. He's like, and what are you doing with it?
Oh.
I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
And
but you know what I love about the voice of the Lord? Even
gentle,
when
yeah.
It's so gentle and loving.
I was like, nothing. So anyways, with that, I was like, okay, God, all right, I hear you. I need to do something with what you've given me. And that afternoon, I turned on the TV. I don't know if it's KPLE. I don't remember. I just remember it's a Christian station. And one of the pastors on there was preaching the same message.
Oh, wow.
Same Sunday. It was in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, God, I think you're trying to tell me something. And the pastor on there looked into the camera, pointed his finger, and said, somebody watching right now, God's told you to publish a book.
Oh my goodness.
And it was so funny because I had my list of excuses, kind of like Moses, all the excuses on why not. And he listed everyone, the pastor that was on TV, listed every one of my excuses and told why they were lame, basically.
Wow.
And say, but
praise God.
And I was like, okay, God, I think you want me to publish a book.
And
then,
even while you're talking, though, there's people listening, and they've had those same excuses.
Yes.
We've had those same excuses.
We have our own,
and so this is really encouraging because you went past the excuses, you laid those aside, and you just said yes.
Yes.
And took the first step. And and it probably wasn't an overnight journey, but but
No.
but the obedience of the Lord is He's so faithful to
Yeah.
just lead you. You know, we've seen so many things like that. This whole TV station was started that way. You know, one person saying yes, even though she didn't know how to do it.
I didn't know what I was
You
doing.
had no clue.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Who do I go to? How do I publish, et cetera? But there's people right now listening that are going through have the same questions.
And a lot of publishing's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another reason I'm really happy that Vicky's going to be there.
Yes.
Because she's very smart in that area. It doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. Hallelujah.
That's good. Yeah.
And you know, my first start, it was very expensive, and because trial and error and different publishers, and I did look at different ones, and so yeah, it was. And now it's a whole lot easier, I think, to get
sure.
published than back when I started.
So are y'all still looking for possibly more authors that
Yes.
might want to participate?
Yes, we have several spots still open.
Okay, and how can they get in touch with you? Is there a cost to come?
No, I don't want to. I've been there. Free of charge.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free.
Freely we have received, freely we give. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So I have a flyer, and the number, there's a website. It's www.beltonnewlifefellowship.org.
Okay.
And the number's 254-939-8011.
Okay. All right.
So that would be the way to contact us to reserve a spot and to promote your book.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
so yeah, we have a we're going to have places for authors, like I said, in a little spot for those who need nuggets and how do I get started, and
Right.
you know, and all that.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
So it's kind of a book fair slash
Training seminar.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be really cool.
That's beautiful. I mean, I've actually done a couple of, you know, it's funny because I don't read devotionals. I've never gotten into that, and
Right.
yet the Lord had me write 2 of them. And I thought that was just always so funny because, and it was not something I planned to do. It was like
Right.
one morning I woke up and he said, send this email to your friend. She needs encouragement today. And that went on for 30 straight days. I would
Wow.
and then I started reading the emails and realized I had just written a book. It's like, wow, that's really cool. Yeah. And so sometimes the Lord will just sneak up on you like that. And
Jehovah's sneaky.
Yeah. Well, I definitely encourage people that even if they've just had an inkling of doing something like this would be a great place to get all your questions answered, get pointed in the right direction. And I'm excited about it. I know a couple of people that have already had a couple of books published and are working on more. And this would be a great place for them to get their material out so
Yes.
people can see it.
Yes.
And I'm just excited that you're going to be doing this. I know the church is really has been a real encouragement for you. I know.
Yes.
And so that's awesome. It's good to have a support system like that.
It is. Yes.
So,
And I know you're very encouraging, so that does not surprise me.
well, I'm excited about it. I think even gosh, I might end up having to go because I'm probably one of hundreds of people out there that have actually written things.
Yes.
That have actually done nothing with them, and that's really sad. It's like the Lord has given me something, and I have not been responsible to share what He has given me.
Right.
And so I'm just kind of a little convicted here while I'm talking to you. So don't be surprised if you end up seeing me out there because
I would love to see you out there.
Well, I know it's just it's needed. There's
Yes.
good now you've done some children's books, which
Yes.
are absolutely necessary. I think in today's world, it's really hard to find good children's literature. And so I appreciate that. I actually got your first book when you wrote it, and it was just adorable. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, we need to get this in every one of my grandkids' hands because it gave such a beautiful message of God, and that's what we need. We need to be able to see God in a way of loving Father, powerful God, but loving and merciful and gentle, and just speaking the gospel to our young people,
Yes.
and helping raise up this generation.
Yes, very loving and encouraging. That's how God speaks to me. I have books out that's mostly children, and mostly for children. Not all of them, but mostly for children. And I have one book out that's a parable. I call it my parable book. It's totally different. It's about a clock, and I know nothing about a clock. That was so God.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so it'll be there at the book fair also.
Yeah, but that's how Jesus shared the gospel so many times.
Yeah.
He shared it in parables.
Yeah.
And it's a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I think the Lord knows that.
Yeah.
And so even as you're going through these books and looking at because I know the illustrations are just gorgeous, the ones I've seen that you had done, the illustrations are just vibrant, and they catch your attention. They catch the attention of the children.
Right.
And that's going to be so indicative, because to this day, my kids will actually be reminded of books we read them when they were little. And my kids are like 40 and 50 now, you know. And then all of a sudden one day they'll talk about, do you remember that book? Because that stuff stays with you.
Right.
You know, you see the pictures, you read the words, you get this picture of a loving God, and that picture does not leave.
And that's another thing that will be presented also, is because, like me, I can't draw or do illustrations worth the flip. I mean, if I do a stick person, I'm doing good. So,
You're not too sure it's a stick person when you're
yeah,
done.
like,
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But she also has pointers. Vicki also has pointers for artwork and stuff.
And illustrators.
And illustrators.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that also will be presented. So if you're out there and you're like, well, I got a story, but I really would like pictures, but I don't know how to do that. She has a lot of pointers for that too.
Oh, this is going to be amazing. And I'm so grateful that you are just doing this free of charge.
Yes.
I'm grateful to your church that they are sponsoring this that they understand the importance of getting out good literature.
Yes.
You know, if you really look, I'm reading books now published like by Finney and some E.W. Kenyon, people that lived long ago, but the words are still full of life. So we just encourage all of you out there, if you are an aspiring author or if you are a current author and just want to get involved, please contact Jeannie at that information that you're probably seeing on the screen. We just encourage you to take part, and you'll probably see me there. So you guys have a great afternoon and have a blessed day with Jesus. Thank you for watching.